Mr. Speaker. I have noted the concerns raised by the Honourable Kosing on the epicenters of conflict in West Pokot County. I promise Honourable Kosing, should I be successful in becoming the CS, I will focus on these concerns because of the critical nature of opening up the northern region. I believe opening it up for development and all the infrastructure necessary for the livelihood support for the people of West Pokot will go a long way. On the issue of Kdf recruitment, Mr. Speaker, from my reading of the core principles of national security, the drafters of our constitution found it fit that the issue of integrity around recruitment of Kenyans to the Kenya Defence Forces would be a very core component of the national principles of national security, because the Constitution actually demands of the national security organs to ensure, to reflect the diversity of the communities of Kenya and ensure diversity in equitable proportions in the recruitment of Kenyans to the defense forces and other security organs. Mr. Speaker, when you see the enthusiasm around young Kenyans coming to front themselves to participate in the recruitment into the forces, I think it is a process we have to guard very seriously in terms of the integrity. And I want to assure members of Parliament, I want to assure Kenyans that being that this is an issue that has been so incessant, I have been a member of this House before, Mr. Speaker, and this is an issue that has kept on recurring over and again. And being that the chairman of the line committee on defense and national and foreign relations is a member of this committee, I can commit, Honourable Speaker, that I will take time to evaluate the standard operating procedures of the Kdf recruitment process, and with a view to identify the gaps, to make sure that we adhere to the strict requirement of the Constitution in terms of the integrity around the recruitment process, Mr. Speaker. When Kenyans front themselves to be in the front line of the defense of our country, it's only fair that we afford that opportunity on an equitable measure. So, Honourable Emase and Honourable Kosing, I undertake to make sure that, again, we also need a lot of sensitization for Kenyans to know that you do not have to pay to be recruited into the KDF. I will look again at the SOPs around the recruitment, but it is also high time that we have a whistleblowing around these activities with a rapid response to issues of corruption and malpractices around the recruitment process. So, Mr. Speaker, it is my undertaking that it is an area of priority that I will look at. And should there be cases of malpractice from within, because it is from without the KDF, and in certain instances within the KDF, then appropriate action would be taken.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order.
Yes, Person.
Honourable Speaker, if Mwananchi knows that they are taking this at 600,000 to one KDF, where is NSIS? Where is defense force? They have intelligence. They call what? Military intelligence. I used to be in that committee in my first parliament. What is going on? I think Honourable Soipan crashed this thing. Let Kenyans be recruited in KDF without 1 shilling. Let them hear you today. Thank you, Speaker.
That's not a question, it's a comment. Chairman, just on the
Yes.
same, so that she concludes. Chairman, Kenyans are being conned, and these matters are reported even to NSIS, and nothing seems to be done. Nothing is done. Our constituents report to us numerous cases, and there are also cartels that now have taken advantage. They will pretend to be KDF officers. I think this is a matter that should be taken seriously, not only by defense, but by all security organs, NIS included.
Yes, what's your point of order?
Just to say, we as a committee were seized of such matters. Most of the things that are said are actually not pointing to the military itself, but people out there who decide to con on and say they work on behalf of the military, yet indeed the military are not even aware. There's a procedure of how the military picks its recruits, and that procedure is very elaborate. It's even put in the newspaper. And where officers have been found culpable, they have been court-martialed.
Chairman.
Honorable Soipan, what you'll do is what we have told many of your colleagues, that none other than the President himself has lamented that one of the weak links in our government is communication. That the people assigned responsibility to assist the President don't communicate enough. So if you are confirmed, you should undertake to the country that before any recruitment, you'll carry out extensive information dissemination to Kenyans that this recruitment is on merit, it is free, and any con fellow who comes around asking for money in exchange for slots should be reported to the nearest agencies, be arrested, be prosecuted, and if convicted, sent to jail.
Chairman, please allow me to add something on that.
Yes.
I think, Chairman, the elephant in the house here is about the state letters. Why should some people be given letters and they go directly to the training, and others they go to the ground for recruitment? That is the biggest challenge we have, and that is the problem.
Mr. Speaker, before I respond to Honorable Dawood, allow me to say one more thing with regard to the recruitment menace and corruption. Mr. Speaker, should I be confirmed for this position, I will also be a member of the National Security Council, and as has been stated here, the issue of recruitment malpractices may not only be within the KDF, so this is an issue of grave national concern that I would endeavor within the operations of the National Security Council to raise it for proper redress. But, Honorable Speaker, the points raised by members are well noted, including the communication aspect. The Honorable Dawood, the issue of the participation of the Kenya Defense Forces in the development agenda of the country, I think that really is the scope of your question. And we have a defense industry or industrialization policy whose import is really to have the KDF be part of the national development agenda because of certain competencies that are found within the KDF. When you look at certain state corporations under the Ministry of Defense, one of which being the Kenya Ordnance Factories Corporation, which deals with the manufacture of ammunition and is slowly expanding its mandate to food production. It comes with a facet of the KDF, which, because of the competitive edge in terms of skills and expertise, it can then contribute to the national development agenda of job creation, food security, and the likes, and also in the construction industry. And that is the same scope of operation of KMC bringing KMC into the operations of KDF, again, is in the same spirit. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the issue of defense industry is very critical, and particularly for the sake of the self-sufficiency of the Kenya Defense Forces in the wake of a very shaky fiscal situation, not just in Kenya, but the globe over. I think because of the critical nature of the mandate of KDF, we should be expanding the scope of operations to make sure that we engage in industries that will bring about self-sufficiency in terms of operations, food sufficiency, and indeed the issue of capacity building and equipment capabilities. So, Honorable Dawood, it is an area of critical concern for me that the very strategic state corporations under the ministry should be, facilitated through investment to make sure that we expand that scope of work of the KDF. Thank you.
Ferdinand.